I mean, I've had older cars and I never smelled that. That's going to be one of those two things. So that's what you think it is?
It's more likely that the vent is real because that's open. You know, it's open to the atmosphere.
Yeah. So then take my line and then in between the rubber hose there, put
I don't have rivets on
Yeah. Well, where does the vent
real one go? It looks like I put hose.
just a hose that goes into the filler neck again. Oh, so it comes out, like I said, it
comes out and then it goes back in.
It goes back in, and then it vents into the.
I know that. Above all of the builders.
He's got handhooks on the back. The yoga's on the front. Really?
It's got to be a 59.
No, I think it's earlier.
Right? Yes, the other right.
The other right. Yeah. These guys got to learn to keep up. They're a bunch of lollygaggers. Every time you gotta keep it tight.
And then I smoked you out. I'm like, just long. It's like
when I last.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Morning.
I feel like there was such a faster way to get it.
There was.
What year is this?
This is 64.
64. I have one at home.
Oh, do you? Oh. Yep.
Beautiful.
Nice fun to drive.
Yes.
GT movers.
Really? What year is yours?
You know, yeah, no, he texted me. Still running the so I got to kind of roll out. No, it's a little trouble. You know, like well, I wouldn't go to Jiffy.
Still has it? Oh, wow.
Really?
Narrow body.
You turn on the left side. He likes to flying back.
You were kind of like the people, like, you know, we really give it. We don't. Where am I at?
I have a 1987 M6.
Okay.
BMW's the one with the hood up.
Oh, okay.
The factory hot rod?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right, the hot rod. But, I mean, in 1987, you didn't have much choice, you know, in terms of muscle. You had a Buick Grand National. This is, if you wanted a driver.
I guess one of the differences is you have very few places you can gear for.
Very few.
I'm using all this has all the time.
That is, that's right.
Is it still, is it only still or movie also?
It's both.
If you want, I'll fire up the engine. You can watch it run.
Yeah, that would be great. What year is it?
1912.
1912.
Come on, you stinker. A lot easier than I thought. I've had this thing about 13 years in the water. What is that Tesla-like thing on the side? The only electricity in this car is really? So the acetylene for the flame in the... what year is it? 1912. Right? I like a little older. On the side of the engine that's circulating over here, the shaft? Well, there are two things that shaft is driving. In the front is the water pump. Right. And behind it is the magneto for the tractor. Now that is a modern tractor magneto. I'm trying to have the original one rebuilt, but the housings were all popped on over there. Oh, destroyed.
I was like, can this? How's it old? I was like, gotta stop the car right now. I was like, yeah. Now like Robbie's car is real low and everything. It's like
Away at college at the time.
well, sorry. I forgot what I'm looking at. The guy on Gears, you know that TV show Gears? Yeah. They're building one of these. Jesse David. Yeah, right, that guy. I think it's still north. You see a Lambo just pulled in? Yeah. It's pretty sure it's the exact same.
It's their scale. You know, it's funny. I love answering the question. It's just such a complex answer. Just the noble. Well, where is it built? Well, it's British, but it's built in South Africa.
Then it's imported to the States. Was it a kit car? No. It's rare. Sort of is, but it's not.
I can't remember ever seeing one of
And
these.
these guys just ended up making that even more complex of a story just because the name is something nobody knows. At least Noble, you know, it's known in car
How long
circles.
have you owned it?
About a year and a half.
And has it been good to you?
Yeah. I've had no issues.
Where would you service?
So there's a guy, actually he's around, I don't know if he's here today, but there's a guy named John Norrie, Broadway Performance in Sept. He actually did a couple of builds, so he's pretty familiar. I'll tell you the truth, it hasn't needed anything.
Well, it's new.
Outside of,
How many miles on it?
it's actually got 11.5 on it. It's a company called Croissants. It's basically the Noble.
Right.
It's the evolution of the Noble M400.
Gotcha.
Just to do the conversion for it. So freaky.
Originally, I got the original Philly Sailor.
Isn't this kind of like a little on the rough side? Yeah. Rough riding.
I've been in a car that did it.
I'll walk around with you guys.
I know. Oh, I like how you have the headrest thing.
Yeah, that's just fiberglass. I put that on.
That's good.
It had a big windshield.
Yeah, what Kids and Rob's has. It has that thing on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great shape.
Yeah. Good pink too. Whoever did it did a good job.
I like with the red.
Yeah, I like the red spears.
Yeah, it looks good.
I want to get some vintage Dunlop tires.
Very nice.
Make a little more of this old brother. Just keep
Yeah.
it.
There's a couple guys that come really old ones.
Rally, just wrecking smart. I wanted to show me also because rally my years, how many because they get millions and question.
Got 2 chairs in the trunk.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've had maybe one or two. Oh, nice car. And then I start talking to cars, and they're like, yeah, never mind, I'm going to walk away. I think it does the opposite.
I'm driving down, and you know, it's like 4 lanes wide in there.
Yeah, like this too loud, this too soft.
They'll get the money anyway. And he's no worries. Yeah, exactly. His family's gonna be happy.
That's life, man. Tougher area, right? I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are. So he's been rejected more than most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yours is doing well.
Yeah, can you hear me?
For the Geneva show, showing the Esprit concept.
Who makes the body? Scaglietti?
Who designed the body?
Yeah.
Scaglietti did most of it, and Bob Cumberford tweaked it a little bit. Bob Cumberford made this come up and did a couple other little things. He added the scoop on the side, but Scaglietti did most of the work. There's a book on Intermechanica. This is the cover card, and the book and I were featured inside. And there's a picture of Scaglietti working on the clay mock-up of this. And the car that replaces is called the Indra, that had a big block Chevy, and that was really the last car that they made before they came to the States.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The car body started life as a Griffith 600 in 1966. Jack Griffith needed a larger car, so he had Scaglietti design this. The chassis was designed by Frank Reisner, who owned Intermechanica, who built it. Mark Donahue from Summit, New Jersey, who was the test engineer, and a few other individuals. They had a late night out, they were drunk, they went to the diner that is Rosie's Diner, that's the diner that's in the Bounty commercial. They designed the chassis on a napkin and went right into production. 9 cars were made. I had a 1968 version. When I tracked down one of those individuals, they told me to sell it because the way it was designed, it was a death trap. They told me to take the car on a road, bring it up to 40 miles an hour, take my hands off the wheel, hit the brakes, and the car would do 180 degrees, and it did. And the reason for that is there was a 3-inch difference between the left side and the right side wheelbase. So I got rid of the car. At that point, Jack Griffith apparently bounced a check with Ford and couldn't get any more engines, so he was out of business. A fellow named Stephen Wilder, who was the editor for Motor Trend magazine and the Taxi Commission of New York, bought the company, moved the facilities down to Holman and Moody's stock car facility in North Carolina, and changed the name of the company to Omega. When General Motors heard about it, they sued them for trademark infringement and put Stephen Wilder out of business, although about a dozen or 2 Omegas were made all coupes. Then the company was sold to some more investors. They changed the name to Torino, and Ford sued them for copyright infringement. At that point, Frank Reisner is in Italy pumping these cars out and loading them into a warehouse, and he can't ship them here because there's no engines to put into them once they arrive. So Frank contacted Ford, made his own deal, and said, I'll buy the motors and the running gear, I'll install it in Italy, and I'll ship complete cars. He made a deal with an importer, Genser Foreman, who imported MGs and Austin Haley's and Triumphs, and brought them into the country, and these were offered at select dealers of those other cars. Most of them were coupes. Relatively about a third were convertibles. This is number 289 of 308 made. This was made in December 70, brought in 71. This is all original in terms of the paint features. It has been restored. The original cars had a 289 Ford, then a 302, and this has a 351 Cleveland. It has a Hurst.
Ford prepared the engines?
Yes, yes. It has a Hurst Ford, a Hurst linkage Ford 4-speed and a Ford 9-inch rear Girling disc brakes. 330 horsepower, 2,600 pounds, 50-50 weight distribution. It's all steel, air conditioning and heat, and it's beautiful. And someone says, what does it drive like? It drives like a 1969 Corvette Stingray but with an Italian body on it. That's what it feels like. It does not have, it has a live rear axle. It's not an independent rear, but she'll cruise at 80, 90 all day long with no problem. And I've owned it for about 10 years. Been offered a lot of money, and it's not for sale.
They bring it to my house.
So that's my story, and I'm going to stick with it.
Oil it, test it, drain it.
Excellent.
Alrighty.
She's a beauty. You enjoy it?
Well, they will, but they want to keep
her safe.
Oh yes.
All said and done.
She spends her time
$2,600.
under a flannel cover in a heated warehouse.
Hold on.
No rust, no
All
moisture.
snuggled in.
All snuggled in.
Beautiful.
Everything.
Yeah.
The
All right.
lift,
Well, thank you.
setup.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No problem. No problem. Thank you.
I see you're taking some other pictures.
Rick, Liz, it's my wife Karen.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi.
You know him. You've known him for 40 years, 50 years.
Some make it work.
We were freshmen in college together.
Well, we are all.